Hey, Skywalkers.
It's us. Woohoo!
2 shows in 2 weeks? What?
Yeah, we weren't going to do a show this week, and then we're like, you know what? Let's do a classic Marvel.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes,
We really
yes.
wanted to do it.
We really want to get through these 107 issues by the end of the month. Guess what today is? The end of the month.
The end of the month. Yay. So welcome. Where are you guys joining us from? Why are you messing with my computer? I set it up.
Because it wasn't framed properly. Now. Oh, look, you get a little Grogu ear sticking out of your head.
Look at them. There we go. Nice.
Oh, I should turn on the background lights.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because that... No, don't turn on the background lights, because then we... No, then I get darker.
No. Why are you darker?
I don't know. Do you guys like the background lights? I guess it adds a little depth.
Yes, it does. Come on.
We'll add depth. All right. Are you guys commenting? If you are, I don't see them.
Someone say hello.
Yeah.
Just so we can make sure that this is working properly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going. I can't post comments to some destinations. I don't know. Okay, well.
Should we give it a second to just make sure this is working properly?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to record the whole episode tonight. We're just going to do a part of it. But then we were like, if we don't record it all right now, it's not happening. Oh.
Hey. Hey, is that who I think it is?
Who is it? Hillsborough. Who is this?
Oh, look who is joining us. Is that Rex?
Ooh, if so, that's awesome. We know he loves classic Marvel.
When classic Marvel is up, Rex is in Tampa.
Ah, Reynold is here too.
And Reynold.
Oh yes, it is Rex. Yay!
We have Rex and Reynold.
Awesome.
That was my favorite 70s buddy cop movie. Rex and Reynold.
Awesome.
Yes, it was very good. It starred Gary Coleman and Conrad Bain, right from Different Strokes.
Oh, make mine Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We will today. We are very happy to be going through these classic comics.
Yes, this is like what would we say? There's 7 issues, yeah.
What?
In this adaptation,
6. I think you've been saying 6 all along, but I could be wrong.
There's 6.
He just woke up from a nap.
Yes, there's 6 in this one, and then 7 in Planet of the Apes. So I'm getting the 2 mixed up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit record.
Okay.
And you know what? This video should be recording, so we're gonna be all good there.
I am ready.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm not ready yet.
6.
6.
Rex
confirmed it.
Rex knows.
All right.
Excellent. Okay, here we go.
So for the issue after the Empire adaptation, we may have a surprise.
Yeah. Has that been confirmed?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I was going to reach out and confirm, but I took a nap by accident.
So it got too hot in the house and you just fell right asleep. Yeah.
So
believe me.
Last week I was spacey because I was sick. Now I'm spacey because I put myself down for a nap. And I needed it.
Yes.
Oh, we're recording.
We are. All right, here we go.
What? Go ahead.
Okay, it's not working. All right, I was going to put that on your head, but not going to work. Okay, here we go. This is what you can look forward to on episode 427 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Hey, Skywalkers! Summer is coming to an end, which means Halloween is just around the corner. And speaking of Halloween, we have some Halloween things to talk about later on in the show. We got a lot of things to talk about later on in the show. So with that, let's welcome everyone back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my Scream Queen, sweetie wife, Sarah.
Oh, I'm the Scream Queen now.
Now you are the Scream Queen, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we did some screaming this weekend. And that sounds really weird, but we did.
Yeah, because our Halloween celebration kicked off yesterday at Midsummer Scream Convention, but we'll get into that in just a bit.
A little bit. We are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney and Marvel fandom and Halloween fandom.
See, you are the Scream Queen.
So imagine a big Wookiee hug from us and a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Now, coming up on this episode, we are breaking down the fourth issue. Of Marvel's Empire Strikes Back adaptation comics circa 1980. This is issue number 42. So if you have it, go get it and follow along. But if not, you can see all the colorful panels and the whole comic as we talk about it if you're watching us on YouTube. So I highly recommend the YouTube version of this podcast episode. Just search YouTube for Skywalking Through Neverland.
Keep going.
All right. Well, let me put up a banner here because it's very important. We are being sponsored by Small World Vacations. They are a diamond level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to Disney parks around the world, even Adventures by Disney, which goes all around the world, which is amazing. And their service is free of charge. So head to smallworldvacations.com for a no obligation price quote and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
All right, I did it as I was told by going to get my issue of The Empire Strikes Back number 42. Here is my issue.
Aww.
See, you say to do things and I do them.
You do. You're very good about that. When I say wash the dishes, you wash the dishes. When I say put away all the groceries that I just got, you put away all the groceries.
Yes.
It's very nice.
Yes. Do you want to touch it?
I do.
No, you don't. No, you're not going to. Come on. What have we learned these last couple of years? You don't touch my comics, okay? Didn't you see Diner when Daniel Stern was flipping out because his wife was touching his record collection?
No.
Because she would take a record out. He had them all alphabeticalized, and she would take something. She'd take out like maybe a copy of the More of the Monkeys. M, touch with M, and she'd put it back in like the A's.
Oh no.
No, see, don't do that.
Okay.
See, he's very, very specific, as am I. I don't want any fingers on my comics that might rip them or tear them, or lose them. Not saying that you lose things, she loses things. So I'm gonna put it safely over here. Now, did I over-explain this well enough? Did I hammer it home?
If it's not electronics, I tend to lose it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if it's not bolted down, you tend to lose things.
Or if it's not a car.
But you know what? We all still love you.
Okay.
All right. Now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on July 31st, 2023.
Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
Well, on this day, 42 years ago, July 31st, 1981. Hey, you were born at this point. The Empire Strikes Back is re-released for the very first time in 1,364 theaters, and the 7-week engagement grosses an additional $26.7 million, which to this point, it brings its total box office domestically to $209 million.
Wow.
You'd think, well, Barbie did that in a weekend. But
well,
this
was
42 years ago.
Right.
When I think the highest price for a ticket was probably $4 and maybe 50 cents. Where now you can't get away without $15 for a ticket. Not that we go to the movies. How often? We saw Barbie. Okay, what do we pay for those tickets?
Like 20 each, yeah.
20?
Yeah.
Oh my. See, this is why I ask you to get things and don't tell me how much they are.
Yeah. But look at the seats we had. It was like a really nice theater with the boxes where you couldn't see in front of you. You couldn't see people's phones.
See, now, back
I'd pay an extra $5 for that.
In 1981, when I saw The Empire Strikes Back during its re-release, I saw it at the Newton Corner Paramount Theater. We had these little metallic seats, and if they bent back, it was like maybe at a 3-degree angle.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And if the air conditioning worked, great. Most likely it didn't. But you know what? We were transported to that galaxy far, far away, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Now, do you recall this movie poster artist Tom Young created the poster for this re-release. It was the B style
Okay.
that centered on Darth Vader. So there was the A style with the Han and Leia, Gone with the Wind, and then there was an Empire Strikes Back B style, and then he just pretty much got that and said, "Okay, I'm going to take 65% of that and make some more of it." And then for the 82 re-release, he just did the same thing, but made Harrison Ford much bigger.
Yes, right.
Because now he was Indiana Jones.
Exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah, I recall when my friend Jimmy Pruby and I we rode our bikes down into Boston from Newton, and just to get our free Empire Strikes Back re-release poster from FAO Schwartz.
Was it still there?
Toy store. Oh yeah.
You got it. Okay.
To get a free movie poster, because these posters were not cheap. Yeah. You go to a convention, they'd be like $20, $25, but here they are free if you just bought like a coloring book. You buy something, you get a free poster.
Wow, that's great.
But we did this at the beginning of the day, which means we had the whole day to carry around these posters without a poster tube and not ruin them. You know how particular I am about my stuff. So the whole day was just protecting this poster.
You didn't go right home after that?
No, it took us like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive all the way to bike all the way down to Boston. Wow. So if you're there, you make the day of it.
Okay.
But yes, I remember riding on with one hand on the steering handlebars, yes, and one hand just ever so tightly grasping this poster so there wouldn't be a wrinkle. All right, Rex says in the comments, I have ruined many posters. Oh yeah, in the end, I put like tape and tacks into my poster, but I think at this point I was using it like little metal clips to grab onto the side of the poster and then hang them up on the wall so you wouldn't ever ruin the poster.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So when I think about this re-release, I think about me and Jimmy riding down to Boston.
Yeah.
And getting this poster. And we were so hot and sweaty. Jimmy would use the poster as like a sweat rag.
Oh no.
And now thinking about it though, at the end of the day, we both unrolled our posters. Mine was like freshly rolled out.
Right.
His was just like a big sweaty clump of paper.
That's so sad.
No, I know. There you go. 42 years ago today. So if you want to know where I was in Boston at the FAO Schwartz toy store.
Nice.
Remember FAO Schwartz? There were these big toy stores. You see it in like movie Big.
Yes. I do.
They didn't have those. They didn't have those pianos you could dance on,
right,
and bang around and maybe make some musical memories.
I love it.
All right, we better stop here before I keep on going on, because I got many more memories about this re-release of The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, before we move on, welcome Meredith. Hey, for joining us. Yay! All right. Well, now we have to move on because there is a lot to share before we even get into our classic Marvel Star Wars comics. So here is
Things We Want to Share. I want to share some more memories of me seeing The Empire Strikes Back in 1981.
Why don't you remind everyone what's happening in 2023 in September?
Oh, I can do that too.
Okay.
Sarah's like one of those people who show something shiny. Here's something shiny. Go this direction. Here's something shiny. Go this direction.
There's something shiny in 2023 in September.
Yes, and that is, we want to remind everyone that we will be at Long Beach Comic-Con September 2nd and the 3rd, where you can pick up your copy of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom. So you'll be there to get it. And
we will have a booth.
We're going to have a booth or a table, but we're also going to be hosting our game show, Star Wars Trivia Challenge Strikes Back.
We don't know a time or date just yet, but when we do, you will be sure to know. Stay tuned to our socials.
Yeah, and hopefully sometime soon we can post the video we took at Comic-Con where we recorded our trivia panel.
That's right.
Yeah, that was. Yes. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. All right. Speaking of lots of fun, we had tons of spooky haunting fun last weekend at Midsummer Scream Horror and Halloween Convention. Guess where that was held? Not in San Diego.
Not in Chicago. Not in Orlando.
No, not in Japan.
Right here in the LBC.
Right in our own backyard.
Long
Beach. Right here in the 562.
the Long Beach Convention Center. And this is such a fun convention. It was my first time there. Richard, you had gone last year for like a half day, right? And this convention celebrates Halloween, horror, and local haunts and big haunts as well. And it features panels that are put on by haunt creators such as Knott's Scary Farm, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, but also fan panels. There's a huge dealer room. There's a podcast stage. There's also a screaming room, which is a screening of all like horror fan films.
Yeah,
right?
And a big shout out to Amantha, who is a Skywalker who
Yes.
runs that screaming room.
Yeah, amazing. And also there's also celebrity signings and photo ops, but
Whoa, not so fast this year.
Yeah, not as many this year. That's very true. But the main attraction for many is there's a whole dark room area that's as big as the dealer room, but it's a whole dark room full of mini scare mazes
called the Hall of Shadows.
Yes. And these are smaller versions of the scare mazes that you encounter when you go to Halloween events like Knott's Scary Farm, Halloween Horror Nights, all of those fun things. So I really loved learning about the haunts that we didn't even know about, because every year we generally go to Disney's Oogie Boogie Bash. We sometimes go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and Knott's Scary Farm is usually a staple. But beyond that, we haven't gone to many others, but there's so many other haunts that are even around our area or just like in California, really. So like the Winchester Mystery House is in San Jose. They do something fun for Halloween. There's a haunted car wash in Lakewood, which we'll have to check out this year.
I know. I never had my car washed by ghouls and demons.
I know.
I think that's what they do, right?
I don't. I think someone comes in your car or something. I really don't know what happens. I don't, but we need to check it out.
But it's in Lakewood.
It's in Lakewood, which is right up the street from us.
If you got a rock and threw it over your head, you'd hit Lakewood.
Yes. And there's also someone had his own house haunt in Pasadena, and he had a little mini haunt there too. So it was a really fun, eclectic space.
Yeah. What'd you say? There was like 5 to 6.
Oh no, I would say even 1, 2. There was like the Blockbuster one.
Oh yeah, the Haunt Buster.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really like a maze. It was just like a maze through a Blockbuster video that just had horror movies.
Yeah. I would say there was 7 or 8 little haunt mazes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of which was closed down most of the day.
Yeah, we didn't get to do that one because it was closed, but all the rest of them we did.
But we did go to the Winchester Mystery House, and if you want to go to the Winchester Mystery House, go to our Instagram account and you can see our little video.
Yeah, that's the haunt there. That was the best one.
It was really fun. So we did a little reel going through these mazes, but they're kind of dark, so only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know what? I still have that fog juice smell stuck in my nose.
Yes.
So right now it feels like it's Halloween season because all I can smell is that fog juice, which puts me in the place of Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't complaining.
No, it was really fun.
Yeah. And then we went to the dealer room. They had all of these dealers who dealt in this either haunted Halloween masks, which every year the technology in these masks just gets scarier and scarier. Fun Halloween Etsy type of little dolls made out of like yarn and ribbon that were like Frankenstein or the Scream characters. There were a lot of cosplayers there. Only saw one Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Only one Barbie at the
but there was
Midsummer Scream convention.
Tons of cosplay from like Mike Myers.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of Mike Myers and Chucky,
yeah. A whole bunch of fun things from horror-ish films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scream. Remember we saw the one woman who was dressed as
Casey, played by Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And then on when we went on Sunday, we saw a game show. Okay. Whenever we go to conventions now, we have to hit up a game show. And this was called Truth or Scare.
Mm-hmm.
And it was moderated by Buddy Under the Bed or the puppet.
It was a puppet, but it was a guy holding a puppet.
A puppet with the hand and rod. And it was fun. It was very quirky.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
So
We
what
had a good time. Like we were
we
entertained.
did, yes, yes. So what he would do is he have two celebrities, Naomi. Oh, what's her last name?
From American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Okay.
She played Pepper in American Horror Story, and someone else who I didn't really know who she was, but
Yeah.
he said that she was one of the first hosts of Not Scary Farm.
Oh, is that what it was? Something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But they were kind of pitted against each other with a person from the audience. And basically, the celebrity had to answer a question about horror trivia, like horror movie trivia. And the person they were paired with had to determine whether they were correct or incorrect. So it was kind of funny because the actors themselves, they weren't as knowledgeable about horror movies as the audience. So it was a fun mashup.
Even though they're in horror movies, Naomi Grossman, she's the actress from American Horror Stories. If you saw her face, maybe we'll put up a picture in the final cut as to who she is. And the host made a mistake of calling up a child to be pitted against one of the actresses, and the whole thing was, I'm going to ask the actress a question, and then the audience participant has got to say whether
they're right or
wrong.
Yes, I just said that. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said that. I was looking at
this, I know.
Because I'd find Naomi's last name.
Yeah, so that kid was overthinking the question and always thought that the actress was wrong. And she took offense to that.
Yeah, he was playing his own game.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. So that provided many guffaws and laughs and chuckles.
Yes. So we had a good time. And yeah, it was just a really fun time. And I would definitely go next year.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you said you wanted to go this year, and I wasn't sure you knew exactly what this was.
I had a feeling I knew what it was.
Midsummer Scream.
I mean, I'm not
horror convention.
I know.
Like, why would you? Okay. So I scrambled for tickets before you got a chance to say no.
Yes.
But you've been surprising me this year. You've been wanting to watch Scream and do some things that are out of your comfort zone. So I applaud you on that.
Yeah, that's the only way you grow.
Hear. All right. So with all that good, fun things we just shared, we have a couple of we have a really bad,
sad news.
So along with all that fun stuff we just shared, we have some sad news now. Paul Reubens, the voice of Captain Rex in the original Star Tours and DJ Rex at Oga's Cantina, has just passed away at the age of 70 from cancer on Sunday, July 30th. Now, when Matt Clifton had posted this in the Skywalking Facebook group, like, what? How could that be? Because it's Pee Wee Herman. This is one of the most laughable guys ever, and how could he be in the same sentence with he passed away? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Paul Reubens wrote a statement that was posted to his Instagram after his death, which, if you think about that, that's kind of eerie. He said, "Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing the last 6 years. I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, fans, and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you."
Oh, that gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard not to think of Paul Reubens as this young man, this Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
Like
he's always been there.
Yeah, with his fun, infectious laugh.
Yeah, and I'm so happy he decided to keep this a secret,
private.
Because you know what? You don't need to share everything everywhere.
No.
Some things should be private, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you ever see his films? Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Big Top Pee-wee, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
So Pee-wee's Playhouse was a series on TV, so I definitely watched that. I was the right age for that, although I felt like I was always into adult things more as a kid. So I felt like I mean adult meaning like I was always trying to
more mature
things.
You're into these sense and sensibilities, rather than Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. So I liked it, but I didn't understand. It was a little too loud and crazy for me, if you can believe it, right?
It was right up my alley.
Oh, I know it was. But I did See, I do remember clearly a memory of seeing Pee-wee's Big Adventure at my best friend's house across the street. We watched this movie, and it came to the scene with the pet shop. And there's a fire in the pet shop, and Pee-wee is like saving all the animals. He's running out, saving, putting the cats outside, putting the dogs outside, putting everything. And he keeps on running past the tank with all the snakes. This is like clearly burned in my brain.
Uh-huh.
And he keeps on like looking at them, and finally there's the scene. He runs outside with the snakes in his hand. This fire is glowing behind him, and I was freaked out. And I could not watch anymore, and I had to turn it off. So I never saw the ending of Pee-wee's.
So he made it to like 3/4 of the way through.
I did, but I was just freaked out. I was so scared for the animals, because as a kid, I was a major animal lover. And then the snakes, they were all wriggling and just, and then his persona there, he's like, freaking out, and I just couldn't handle it. Even that picture is like, oh my God, let's move on.
Well, guess what we're watching tonight then?
Oh no.
No, for me, this came at a great time because I was still in that whole innocent boyhood charm and what I wanted to see on TV. I grew up kind of slowly, didn't want to go into that whole adult teenage kind of thing, but yet it was childlike, and yet it was very askewed. Because his sense of humor was very sarcastic. He defied rules and laws to much as he could, and he cherished his bike. I cherished my Empire Strikes Back poster. He cherished his bike. So you see a lot of similarities.
That's very true. And I'm sure now, if we watched it now, I can absolutely appreciate it for what it was. I mean, even Pee-wee's Playhouse is really, really fun and colorful, and the costume and set design and everything. It's really breaking boundaries. And I think they did a good job. But as a kid, I did not appreciate it in that way.
You know what? Pee-wee's Playhouse, I could never get into it. It was just a little too silly and crazy and just a little too off kilter for me.
Wow.
I could hang with Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee's Big Top kind of fell off the rails a little bit.
Okay, I never saw that.
And Pee-wee's Playhouse, I just couldn't really grasp onto. Okay. Now, a lot of people in my generation were like, yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they could get into it. And I felt like the outsider because I just couldn't do it. I could appreciate what he was doing. It just wasn't there for me yet.
Okay. But, I mean, Paul Reubens really has, Paul Reubens really has a hold on both of us because of Star Tours.
But now, before we go there, Mark says in the Sky Chat, Pee-wee eating Mr. T cereal on top of his pancakes. This was the funniest scene. This was a Tim Burton movie.
Was this in Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
In Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he had this whole big construction. Imagine a Tim Burton land inside of a house. So that's what Pee-wee's house looked like. And he had this big contraption that would make his breakfast. It would make breakfast for his dog. And it took like 20 minutes. And at the end of the day, he took like a little tiny bite of his Mr. T cereal, wiped the sides of his mouth, and he was good. He was good for the day. It's a huge breakfast. And he just had this little tiny bite of Mr. T cereal. That was it. Yeah, great scene. Now, of course, we're mentioning all this because, well, we admire the man and his work, but he has got this great Star Wars connection. He is Captain Rex. Yeah.
In Star Tours. And we learned from Mark Eads, Imagineer, that as long as Paul Reubens' voice is in the Disney parks, he has a lifetime pass to get into the Disney parks, which I'm hoping he used even up until this year.
Oh, you know what? Let's listen to this clip where he does mention that. Yeah, I used them, and he was sad that they took his voice out of the ride. But you know what? There's an asterisk there, okay? So let's play the clip and then come right back to it. Let's play the clip, and then we'll get right back to the asterisk. So in the clip, we're going to hear that one of the fans at Comic-Con said, how'd you feel like your voice was taken out of Star Tours? And he said he didn't know until someone at a convention told him.
Oh, no.
And that he got passes, and yeah, he used his passes.
Good. Okay.
All right, now guess what?
Asterisk?
That never happened.
What?
They never took his voice out. That was the talk that his voice would be taken out of Star Tours because of some trouble with the law in 1991. We won't get into that. But you know what? Disney just kept it in. This is back in the day where not everyone was canceled for making a mistake. So, highest kudos to Disney. I think back then there were really no internet, no social media. So, Disney said, yeah, we'll take his voice out. And everyone just accepted that. But no, his voice was never taken out. Therefore, he always had his lifelong pass.
Right. But then they updated Star Tours in 2011.
But you can hear Paul Rubens' voice in Captain Rex right in the queue.
Yes.
And,
right in the queue.
And you can hear him at Olga's Cantina.
Exactly. As DJ Rex. Yes.
Yeah, so look at that.
Awesome.
All right, now you're probably wondering, wait a minute, did Paul Rubens do anything else other than Pee-wee and Captain Rex? Go ahead and ask me that.
So, Richard, did Paul Rubens do anything else besides Pee-wee Herman and Captain Rex?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because he did a lot of stuff, a lot of things, including he played a vampire in the film Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then he played another vampire in an episode of What We Do in the Shadows.
Wait, which one?
He was part of the Vampire Council.
Oh my gosh.
Remember we saw that episode and we saw him. It's like, wait a minute, is that Paul Rubens?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. And
awesome.
He returned to the Tim Burton verse in Batman Begins as Penguin's father.
Batman Returns?
Batman Returns. What did I say? Batman Begins?
Yes.
Well, Batman began with the next sequel. Yes.
That's not the Burton
So yes,
verse.
Batman Returns, yes.
Okay.
He played Penguin's dad.
Nice.
And he voiced Max in Flight of the Navigator, which is where Mark Eads heard his voice and said, that's the voice of Captain Rex.
Yes.
And if you watch the Blues Brothers,
yeah,
he is a waiter in the beginning, in the restaurant scene where the Blues Brothers are looking to get their band back together.
What?
They go to this very, very posh French restaurant. And Paul Rubens is the waiter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the early 80s, he popped up in a lot of films, almost playing a Pee-wee-esque type of character.
And then Don is saying he's in Mystery Man.
Yeah, this is just scratching the surface of his resume. Then in 2014, Paul Rubens came back to Star Wars in the Rebels episode, Droids in Distress, where he voiced Captain Rex once again.
Nice. Aww.
So I'm very, very happy he came back to Star Wars, because that made him more of a staple in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow.
I just wish we had him on the show. I would have loved that. Would have blown my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could have really accepted that.
Captain Rex, why don't you ever make Richard the Rebel Spy?
yeah. Well, if he could, I'm sure he would have.
Yeah.
And there was such an outpouring of affection today on social media as fans that wrote about the impact he had on their lives. Mm-hmm. If you're of the generation of my generation, you at some point in your life, you would have gone, ha ha, done a Pee-wee laugh.
Absolutely.
In fact, it was yesterday, about probably the time he was passing away, that we were talking about Pee-wee at the Truth or Scare trivia show.
Yeah.
There was a question, and we thought the answer was going to be Paul Rubens. So we're all yelling, Paul Rubens!
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Yeah. In fact, he is the base of another trivia question in our Star Wars Trivia Strikes Back. So we ask very simply, who's the voice of Captain Rex? Mm-hmm. And everyone always says Pee-wee Herman.
Yep. They can never think of his real name.
Is that the right answer?
No.
No, it's not.
It's Paul Rubens. Yeah.
So, Paul Rubens, you will be missed. You're already missed. Mm-hmm. So sad to hear this news.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, let's get into the third issue of the adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back titled To Be a Jedi?
That's
Okay,
the
take
wrong.
yeah, take
Yeah.
take two.
What is it called? Because I don't know.
Fourth.
Okay. Well, now let's get into the fourth issue of this adaptation titled Bounty Hunters. Is it To Be
No,
a Jedi?
that's yeah.
That is it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so now let's dedicate this episode to Mr. Paul Rubens. So we'll get into the fourth issue of the adaptation to Marvel's Empire Strikes Back. That was so wrong. With that, let's dedicate this episode to Mr. Paul Rubens. And with that, let's get into the fourth issue of the Empire Strikes Back adaptation by Marvel Comics titled To Be a Jedi. Or Not to Be a Jedi.
Nice. Okay.
Long ago, and I...
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not, it's up there.
I gotcha. Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there exists a state of cosmic civil war. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters have challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome galactic empire. This is their story. And that is how Marvel Comics began every one of their 107 issues of the original Star Wars comic series. Now, I'm here to take you through these classic stories, share memories of reading these comics as a kid, or in my case, just looking at the pictures, and to get you caught up with these characters and situations that every Star Wars fan must know. Because as we've noted, there are several connections and parallels to the current films and comics and novels, and I just can't wait to get into this issue.
Yes, this is the series where we break down each issue of the vintage Star Wars comic series that ran from 1977 to 1986. Now, I'm reading these comics for the very first time, sharing my 21st century opinion of these comics as well as my artistic thoughts.
Now, once again, this is issue 42, To Be a Jedi. And the release date is September 23rd, 1980. And if you're keeping track at home, we are now only 6 issues away from when Sarah was born.
Yay! What are we going to do on the issue that's like my birth month? We're going to have a party?
We're going to celebrate.
Yay!
Sarah and Marvel Comics all on the planet Earth.
I love it.
Now, this was written by Archie Goodwin, based on the script by Lee Brackett and Lawrence Kasdan, from the story by George Lucas, artwork by Al Williamson, Carlos Garzon, and Glennis Wine, and cover art by Al Williamson and Carlos Garzon.
Now, in the last issue, number 41, titled Imperial Pursuit, the rebels have escaped Hoth. Han Solo and the Falcon crew are hiding inside an asteroid, while Luke has just crashed on Dagobah and has been spotted by a small figure with pointy ears. Now, in this issue, To Be a Jedi, all right, Luke meets a green and not purple gnome after he crashed his X-Wing in a Dagobah swamp. And he soon learns that this is the Jedi Master he was instructed to find by Ben Kenobi. Meanwhile, Han has hidden the Millennium Falcon inside of an asteroid cave, only to realize this was no cave. And aboard his Star Destroyer, Darth Vader has assembled a motley crew of bounty hunters to find the Falcon with the distinct command, no disintegrations.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's go over the cover here.
Okay.
All right, there's a narration starburst that reads, "And now the bounty hunters."
Dun dun dun.
And on this cover art, we see Dengar, Boba Fett, and Bosk, and they're standing inside of a big white spotlight backed by a starfield.
I thought the spotlight was like a planet.
You know what? It could be a planet. It could be I saw it as a spotlight.
Yeah.
Which is very misleading because they don't really spotlight the bounty hunters in this issue. But
spoilers.
But if you're like me, can I go first and tell you my reactions to this cover?
Yes.
If you're like me, you went crazy over this cover as a kid. I loved it because you had all these new characters, these masked characters, these creatures, and one guy's got this big thing on his head that's a bandaged up. What kind of battle has he gone over? I don't know, but I want more. I just could not get enough of this. I recall seeing this on the spinner rack because
Oh.
all you saw were the three heads of the bounty hunters, and at this point we'd already seen The Empire Strikes Back. This came out in September. I thought, oh, wait a minute, are we going to see more bounty hunters than we did in the film? Because they're on the front cover. We must be getting a whole issue full of bounty hunters. Well, I plunked down my 50 cents, ran home, looked at the pictures, and we just saw two panels.
Mm-hmm.
Two panels of bounty hunters.
Aww.
And so I was used to nothing matching up in terms of colors. So the fact that Bosk is wearing a purple jumpsuit never really bothered me.
Okay.
And the Boba Fett matched the Kenner action figure. So I was all right there, and it had to do with a toy. And in previous Marvel issues, they had made some toyetic references. So I was all in because you're connecting the comics to the toys.
Oh yeah.
And then Dengar in the film they all just really stood there, but we didn't see much of Dengar. Bosk and Boba Fett had action figures. At this point, Dengar, not yet.
No.
So I was all in. I couldn't be more excited. But you know what? We got two panels of bounty hunters, and you know what? I was good. I was happy. I was a happy child.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All of you watching, please let us know what you think of this cover. We're going to go over those thoughts.
All right. Now, what do you think of this cover?
All right. Well, to me, this was unlike any cover we've seen so far. Usually the covers have more of a story element to them. There's more like a scene. Whereas this, am I looking at a shelf of Star Wars toys? That's kind of what I thought.
That's what got me
when I saw this cover. Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's different. It's colorful. It's fun. It would definitely stand out in a line of Star Wars Marvel Comics covers. Now, that being said, my little artistic brain comes in there, and I would have made the Empire Strikes Back logo that's on the bottom right corner much bigger and partially overlapping the feet of Bosk and Boba Fett. I mean, I can see why they might have not done that because that would compete with the Star Wars logo that's right on top. But I still think they could have used that as kind of a, hey, this is Empire Strikes Back, right? And I do like the color scheme. I think it's really fun. You have these bright poppy colors. And aesthetically, I really like Boba Fett and Bosk. They're both colorful. They're both fun. Boba Fett stands out in his bright green and bright red. And Bosk has that beautiful purple, which I think he looks better in that. What's his normal colors?
Yellow.
Yeah, that's stupid.
He's got a yellow.
That's stupid. I like purple. So he should be purple. But Dengar, however, I feel like he looks like a creepy, bandaged old man. And in the white and beige, he just kind of blends into that white spotlight that's behind him. Mm-hmm. So I would have switched him out for a different bounty hunter. Perhaps for LOM. Mm-hmm. Or IG-88.
I
think that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Because to bring in the people who like the droids, I think that would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's my artistic, I like this cover, but I would have done a few things differently had I been in charge.
Well, now that you say all that, okay, I want something else.
Sorry.
Not happy with this anymore.
Oh,
no. All right, core one of Amber. Hey there, Don. He says, very static. The last issue, we saw the Millennium Falcon in the asteroid field with a Star Destroyer right behind it, chasing it. Issue before that, we had the AT-AT lumbering toward Luke Skywalker with a lightsaber ready for action. Now here we got three bounty hunters standing there.
But it looks cool because it does look like a toy shelf.
Very much so.
So yeah.
Very much so. All right. And then Reynolds says in the Sky Chat, just love bounty hunters! ! Heart emoji. All right. Now, as always, we put the cover art in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page, and we ask the Skywalkers to go nuts. Give us your comments. What do you think of this?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. So Jeremy Stevenson says, looks like the bounty hunters are literally stealing the spotlight in this issue.
Hey, there you go. See, I'm not the only one who thought this was a spotlight.
That's so cute. I love it.
All right, let's read Rex Gordon's review. All right. Rex says, "Well, I knew about Boba from the holiday special, but here he is, along with Dengar and Bosk. I'm okay with purple Bosk. He must have had other colored clothes than just yellow." And he goes on to ask, "Now, how does he get his feet through the pants? I don't know. Because
Hmm.
Bosk has got these clawed feet. How does he
Yeah.
get those? Because I'm not sure those feet can bend the way normal feet do."
Interesting.
All right, Rex goes on by saying, Dengar also kind of purple to frame left. Dengar also kind of purple to frame Fett. It does make Fett pop more, although he should have been more colorful.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Dengar just had a gray suit of armor, a little bit of white.
Yeah.
White,
Wasn't that
yeah,
great.
no.
Okay.
So even though IG-88 is all gray, he's still a droid. Would have been fun. And then Rex continues with, maybe Stanley forgot to order enough yellow ink. Whatever. This cover rocks. Make mine Marvel. Nuff said.
Nice.
this
I
this
love it.
this cover does rock.
It does. Yeah, Scott Hume says, first comics appearance of Boba Fett. So this is a highly sought after issue. I wish they could have gotten all the bounty hunters on the cover, but at least Boba Fett and Bosk made the cut. And Dengar, but does anyone care about Dengar? Poor Dengar.
And that's why they have him on the cover. Just give him a little bit of love, okay? All right. And then Reynolds says, cover looks great, but Bosk looks like he's wearing pajamas.
I can see that.
Maybe the yellow is his bounty hunting color of choice. Purple is when he wants to get a little shut eye.
Yeah, perhaps. Although Don is saying that maybe at this point, it seems that the majority of people in the Star Wars universe can only afford one set of clothes.
Well,
I like it.
They get so busy. When do they have time to change?
It's true. That's so cute. Or one color scheme, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. With that, let's get into the story of The Empire Strikes Back.
Excellent. All right. Well, we open the comics and we have this splash page, as always, right?
Mhm.
So it contains the Empire Strikes Back logo in the top left corner, and you see this big, giant Boba Fett right there in the middle. And that is the main focus of the page. He is flanked by the other bounty hunters, Dengar, Bosk, and there's one guy that's like over his shoulder. Who is this?
That would be Zuckuss.
Really?
But
this
they
dude?
Yeah, they hit him behind Boba Fett's backpack.
His jetpack.
Yeah.
All right. That's very odd.
He didn't have a very good agent.
And there's Bosk right there, kind of in a profile shot. Do we have IG-88?
No, but they're standing in front of a Bespin background.
Okay.
Those are those domed Bespin towers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I'm sure this was taken reference from The Empire Strikes Back illustration when Ralph McQuarrie did this nice portrait of all the bounty hunters, and they were standing on like a Bespin landing platform.
Okay.
All right. So on the bottom of the screen, what do we have there?
All right. So now let's see, at below waist level of Boba Fett, we get a narration box, which is cutting the splash page box in half. So below this narration, we have this nice long shot of Luke and Dagobah with R2 and his ration box. Can't forget his ration box. And Luke's back is to us. He's contemplating his X-Wing, which has crashed in the swamp.
Now look at Luke's body language. He's got his hands on his hips, and looks like he's saying to R2, so who's going to explain this to the insurance company? Yeah. Not it. Not it. Mm-mm. Sorry, R2. But let me know what they say.
Yeah. Now, interesting that they've chosen to have these interesting pink mushrooms in Dagobah.
There's a lot of mushrooms.
There's a lot of pink mushrooms
in this issue, and there's some references to Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
So I think they were trying to tell you something without being too subtle about it.
All right. Well, this whole splash page, we'll get a good look at that. Now, this whole splash page echoes the previous issue 41 splash page, which was also cut in half by the Falcon's jet stream lines, and it depicted two different images. You had like the Falcon and Star Destroyers, and then below the Falcon lines, you had like the cockpit of the Falcon, which is a cool way to split that up. So they've kind of done a similar thing here. Now the colors here are mostly pastel, except for Boba Fett, whose red armor pieces really pop out and like hit ya with some force. And these tie into the Empire Strikes Back logo outline. This issue from these two pages, our front page and this page now, promises to be very Boba Fett heavy. Does this happen?
Have you seen The Empire Strikes Back? Is the film Boba Fett heavy?
No.
If you want Boba Fett heavy, you got to watch the holiday special.
And neither is this issue. I'm surprised they didn't have Han and Leia almost kissing on the cover, because that's what this issue has in it. But I don't think that would have sold to 10-year-old boys.
No, little boys. Nope. If I would have seen that on the spinner rack at John's, I would have said, yeah, I'll wait until maybe next month to give you 2 issues back to back.
What about you guys watching? Would you have loved to see Han and Leia kissing on the cover? Would you pick up that comic?
Like I said before, when I saw the Raiders of the Lost Ark novelization and there was Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood just looking deeply into each other's eyes, I didn't bother picking up that novelization.
Oh, how sad.
All right, now let's get to the next page that opens with Chapter 4, To Be a Jedi. Now, Luke and R2 stand at a different viewpoint to watch the X-Wing. If you go to the previous page, they're looking at it from the side.
Right.
Now they're looking at it from behind.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they're walking. Maybe R2's got the insurance company, got the Allstate rep on the phone, and he's got to explain what's going on. So that's why he's at a different vantage point. And the narration reiterates Ben's dialogue, telling Luke that he must go to the Dagobah system just so he can catch the reader up. Mm-hmm. Whereas in previous issues, you would have like a couple of pages to tell you what happened in the last issue. Well, now it's just a couple of narration boxes, and let's move right along.
Done, yeah.
Now, suddenly, Yoda appears, not like he does in the film where Luke has set up at a little camp away from the X-Wing, a little ways into the jungle, but right here next to the crashed X-Wing. This is where Yoda just pops in, and this is good continuity because remember, in the last time we saw Yoda at the end of the last issue, he had just seen Luke crash his X-Wing. Mm-hmm. So he's in the same spot. So I give Marvel a lot of credit for that little continuity.
For keeping with the continuity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. All right. Now, R2 beeps in with a
Warit.
Come on, you can do better than that.
Warit.
That's much better.
Okay.
And here we get to see Yoda looking like Yoda.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't look like the concept art where he was the green and the purple gnome with the long white hair that freaked me out, that we saw in the Marvel Adaptation Digest. But we went over that story in the last episode where Archie Goodwin broke down the 2 Yodas.
Okay.
So go listen to that again. It was really, really interesting.
Right. Now, Yoda here, though, while his face is somewhat similar to Yoda here, and he is green, not purple or anything else, he does have really long legs, long, stick-thin green legs, and a purple robe, which is a little different. So he's much more humanoid in these comics.
So they didn't want to get away from the purple.
Yeah. Oh, but I do have to say the middle left panel here with Yoda eating this food ration. Luke here looks like Wedge with blonde hair though. Like his face looks a lot like Wedge. And Luke says, "Hey, that food concentrate stick was going to be my dinner. Do you want a food concentrate stick for dinner?"
If that's all you have. Sometimes for lunch we'll have a power bar.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think that food concentrate stick tastes like peanut butter.
No. Cora, what Don is saying, is he smoking a pipe? No, that's a food concentrate stick.
Yeah, that panel isn't the best representation of Yoda or Luke.
No. Yeah, and Rex is asking, did they draw over another Yoda? Yeah, I think the artist needed some practice with Yoda, because later on in this issue, it gets way better.
Much, much better.
Yeah.
Looks like the actual cinematic Yoda. Now, it was here in this comic where I understood what Yoda said.
Oh.
He says, go down to the bottom panel.
Okay.
He says, "I'm wondering, why are you here?" I always thought in the film, he said, "I am wandering." why are you here? Like he was wandering around and he found Luke.
Oh.
So it wasn't until I got this issue that I read the dialogue. I'm wondering, why are you here?
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Blew my mind. So this is like you know how we watch TV with captions now, so we can understand what they're saying?
Yes.
So this was like closed captioning for The Empire Strikes Back. Oh, mind blown.
That's awesome.
Now Yoda rummages through Luke's stuff and he takes his lamp and leads him back to his hut where he over-assures him that he'll be quite safe. Mm-hmm. He says it again and again. You know when someone's got to keep repeating something, you don't trust what they're saying?
Yeah. Oh, and he even laughs. Safe. Quite safe. Yes. Of course. Wow.
Luke says, yeah, R2, I'm going to go out for the stranger. You wait here. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Now we cut away to the asteroid field and 2 Star Destroyers blast down into an asteroid where they've tracked the Millennium Falcon. And we see the Falcon parked inside a big cave. But from this vantage point, we must be seeing the space slug's open mouth.
Right. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool shot.
It's a very cool shot.
Yeah.
And it's not until later on you realize, oh, wait a minute. If I look back, now I see the space slug is hiding in plain sight. Mm-hmm. All right. Han slips into his... All right. Han slips into his Charlton Heston Taylor Planet of the Apes routine again and tells 3PO, or Bright Eyes, not to worry about the Imperials above. They are safe. This seems to be a running theme in this issue. Oh, safe. Indeed. Being safe. Is anyone in this story ever safe?
No. They're in the belly of the beast. Mm-hmm. All of them. Yeah.
Right. All right. Now, we get into the Empire love scene between Han and Leia. And instead of having too many panels where the artist has to draw Han and Leia arguing, they take us outside the Falcon. And they do this a lot, where they take us outside of the action, so they don't have to keep illustrating the characters.
Is that why they did that?
Yes, because if you notice, the Han looks like Harrison Ford, Princess Leia looks like Carrie Fisher, Luke Skywalker like Mark Hamill. So that must take some time. Even Chewbacca is looking great. C-3PO and R2, they're looking great, which means it's taking a little bit more time. So if you notice in this issue, they keep cutting outside of the action just so they don't need to draw the characters anymore. Now they're just drawing the Millennium Falcon and a couple of vines.
All right, can I speak to this scene?
Please. This is all you at this point.
This is my favorite scene in all of Star Wars ever. Okay, so here it is in a panel of the comics. And I find it curious that they did cut out the last lines of that scene. Now, I can recite this scene back to back to back, but, you know, she goes, sometimes when you're not acting like a scoundrel, and he's like, scoundrel, I like the sound of that. I think you like me because I'm a scoundrel. I bet you haven't had enough scoundrels in your life. And then the narration takes it, and all of a sudden they're kissing. But they left out, I happen to like nice men.
I'm a nice man.
No, you're not. And then they kiss. So we kind of missed that whole kind of like little thing. And instead of this thing where they cut outside the Falcon, they really, really, really needed a shot of Han like leaning into Leia, because you don't get this chemistry by cutting away to outside the Falcon. What the heck is that? Right. I'm so annoyed. Who drew this?
I can answer all your concerns.
Yes.
One, this is for 10-year-old little boys, and we don't want to see characters kissing. We want to see laser battles. We want to see lightsaber fights.
I don't like 10-year-old little boys.
See droids. And they only have so much room to
have a kissing scene.
To play out a scene. And a scene like this, like, okay, let's just cut to the chase and get right out.
All right.
As hard as that is to hear. Oh, look, Adam O'Brien's here from Australia.
Yay.
Hey, Adam. Yeah, take it. Adam, distract Sarah. Distract Sarah.
Yeah. All right. So, man. All right. But they did do a very nice rendering of Han and Leia kissing. And I would know because I have that image burned in my brain.
That is a very, very nice illustration.
It's very good.
Yeah. Yes. But then Leia breaks nervously away, perhaps frightened by what she feels, or perhaps how much she wishes the feeling would continue. Now, what else didn't they include in the scene?
3PO breaking them up. Classic.
The big comedic moment of like this second act of the film. And it's out of here.
It's out of here. It's just Leia, who actually, this is a great panel of Leia, by the way. I love her likeness here. But you know what? It's interesting to see different mediums portray the same scene and how they do it. So, I mean, in comics, they kind of have to show certain panels. That's all they have to work with. And then they have narration to describe what's going on inside the character's mind.
So the narration is the filler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, but I want to say that Rex says, so Han and Leia meet on a Death Star and finally kiss in a space slug. Romance.
That's Star Wars romance for you.
I love it, apparently.
And then they have a child.
Yes. Or more children.
A child that murders and
oh gosh.
And just
if you're going with that, if you're going with the Zahn, they have 3 kids.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? You could whatever. All right. That's very true.
Maybe in this love scene, this is how Kylo Ren is conceived.
What?
I'm just trying to tie this into Kylo Ren, okay? The Ben Solo.
It's not working.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right, let's keep going.
We then cut to Vader bowing down to the Emperor. So Marvel must not have gotten any sneak peeks at the Emperor. So since we just see a cloaked, hooded shadow there.
Yeah, totally. There's no image of the face at all, just a robed figure.
You know, with a very pointy hood. So it's not like Lucas said, hey, let's keep the Emperor's visage under disguise.
Did you just say visage?
I did say visage, okay?
Whoa.
Okay, because we're talking about the Emperor, so you gotta really up your game. So it wasn't like they said, hey, let's keep him under wraps because it's a man in a hood, not like a something or something secretive. It wasn't like they revealed the Emperor and it's a Gungan.
Okay, right. Or Pee Wee Herman or something. Well, it wouldn't be that yet.
No. Okay.
All right.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they must have not given him any sneak peeks at him. So they just said, okay, let's just draw him as a cloaked figure, dark shadowed figure. Okay. Which works.
Yeah. Yeah, it does work. So Vader is speaking to the Emperor and they're determining that, Skywalker is very powerful, but if he could be turned, he would be a powerful
great asset.
Ally. Yes.
Can it be done?
A powerful ally, not a great asset.
Well, in the movie, a great asset. Can it be done? He will join us or die.
No. But in here, this bottom panel is really cool with Vader here. He's got his fist up in his classic Vader pose. Yeah. And
his fist clenched.
He will join us, my master, or die. It's very dramatic.
I don't think he sounds anything like that. What I meant was to say that you do a better you do a better Darth Vader than James Earl Jones, my sweetie, okay? You do nothing wrong. Okay, moving right along. All right, someone in the Sky Chat, say something to distract Sarah quick. I'm in trouble. All right, then we cut back down to Dagobah, where the object of the Emperor's concern and interest continues his own search. So imagine this, if only Sheev Palpatine knew that his biggest former rival and the son of Skywalker were in the planning stages of Luke's Jedi training, he would have turned the whole universe inside out looking for them. He would have pulled a Star Killer base. Let's destroy every single planet just to make sure that these two do not continue on with Jedi training.
Absolutely. All right, here, the ghostly voice of Ben reaches out, and after Yoda tells him that Luke is too old. Now, do they ever say that this is the voice of Ben? Or are we just, I don't remember seeing that this was Ben.
In the comic, yeah. No, you know what? You're right. I don't think, rereading it, you just assume, you know it's Ben, so you don't question it. But yeah, now that you've questioned it, I don't think...
I don't see it anywhere.
Luke never says, Ben, I can be a Jedi. Ben,
Right.
tell him I'm ready.
Oh, right here, right, Ben?
Oh,
Ben?
okay, yeah.
Okay.
And the what, the 1, 2, 3, and the fifth panel into the scene?
Oh, okay, wait, no. So, yes, the fourth panel here, a chill goes through Luke Skywalker as his wizened little guide speaks seemingly to himself and is answered by the voice of Ben Kenobi. I think I just like glossed over that because I was reading the dialogue because we know it so well from the movie.
All right, I don't want to take us out of the scene here, but it's wizened.
Okay. Yeah, fine. I knew as I was saying it, that's probably wrong. All right.
Everything you
wizened.
do is right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, you're right. So we don't get into the scene before knowing, but I think they just assume we know what's Ben.
Right. Exactly. Now here, can I just point out the fact that Yoda like looks completely different in every panel?
Mhm.
His face,
Mhm.
like here he looks like a little chimpanzee. Like
Yeah.
look at the chimpanzee face right there.
Mhm.
But just weird Yoda ears on top of a chimpanzee face. And here he looks like an old man that's grumpy. I don't know.
And not just that, he's never the same size
No.
in each panel. So if you didn't see the film, you think Yoda was growing and shrinking just to mess with Luke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, never ever the same size. Now right here next to Luke, he looks like, okay, he's like Yoda actual size.
Right.
You see him later on, and he's about 4 inches tall.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we go to the next?
Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. I go to that upper panel here.
Yeah.
We cut to the outside of Yoda's hut.
Oh, right here.
So they don't need to keep cutting back and forth to
People's
having
faces.
to draw out these character faces. And plus, it breaks it up a little more.
It does.
See, if you just had face, cut the more face panels.
Well, so this begins with an establishing shot of where they are, and then it cuts inside where you see the faces.
Right.
But the Han and Leia scene, in the middle of the scene, it cuts to outside the Falcon, and I have issues.
Yeah, they do that in movies just to cover up an edit.
Yeah,
it works. But yeah, they'll do this quite a bit. Yeah, you're right. They start with the establishing shot, but later on they'll keep cutting outside of the scene just to save some time.
Okay.
All right, now the ghostly voice of Ben reaches out, and after Yoda tells him that Luke is too old, he replies, "He will learn, Yoda. We have come this far." Now, is Ben implying that, hey, I didn't spend all these years looking after him on Tatooine, the planet that is the furthest from the bright center of the universe, for nothing? We are taking this to the end, little green guy.
Yeah, probably. That's how I would be.
That's how I took it when I saw that. When I read that line, we have come this far. No, Yoda, I've come this far.
Yeah.
I know you had to wait it out on a swamp planet with no one to talk to except for the animals, and well, I'm sure Yoda did his own form of training down there.
Yeah.
Yoda's very efficient. He doesn't waste time.
All right, Rex is bringing up a plot hole in the whole Star Wars canon. He says Obi-Wan could have just flown baby Luke to Dagobah and saved some time. And saved the Lars family too. Yes, but then Luke wouldn't have grown and become this, who he is, the hero.
And a great pilot.
That too, yeah. But that's very.
They don't have very many skyhoppers on Dagobah.
No.
But yeah, okay, valid point.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the next page where we see this top panel here, which has a great likeness to Luke. And it says, to become a Jedi takes the deepest commitment. All his life, this one has looked away. This is Yoda speaking. I'm not going to do a Yoda impression.
You looked away to the future.
Yes.
To the horizon. Never your mind on where he was. What he was doing.
And here is Luke looking up and away, his face half in shadow. He's looking off into the distance. And I think that's a really nice way to frame that line. Very artistic.
Yeah, it kind of creeps me out that Luke only has one eye.
It's artistic, okay?
He only has one eye.
It looks good.
I've seen the movie. Luke's got 2 eyes.
All right, moving on.
All right, moving on back into the asteroid cave, and Han and Leia and Chewie, they're inspecting the Millennium Falcon for varmints crawling around the Falcon's hull, and suddenly Han blasts something up on the ship, but we never see what it is because it falls in a big cloud of smoke.
Yeah, and then he's like seemingly looking at something on the floor of the cave, and you still don't see it. I don't know what he's supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, well, you know what? Do you know what he has? a very bad feeling about this environment. Now, where in the space slug do you think they are? Looks like they're standing on a membrane.
It's a stomach.
Okay.
And a slug, it's a slug. It's basically all it has is a stomach, right? I mean, where else would they go?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know what you think.
Does anyone know how worms look?
Maybe on a heart.
Didn't you dissect a worm?
I tried to in school, but I couldn't do it.
No,
I couldn't do it.
It's when you got to the frogs that was really gross.
Oh nope. I took an F that day.
Okay, I did it.
Yes, you did.
All right, it smelled really gross.
Yeah, let's not go there right now. Okay.
You talked about where they are in the space slug. Okay?
Yeah, I didn't say about cutting the space slug open. That was never a
condition of our agreement?
Yes, I was trying to get there. It was never a condition of our argument. I'm sorry, when you have to see us at our worst.
And punchy too.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Now we cut to a Star Wars publicity shot up in the upper right-hand corner of Han blasting away at the inside of this space slug. All right. Now let's show a picture of the publicity shot that I'm talking about. Oh, there's the Star Wars publicity shot. Cut right back, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. He just has his rebreather mask,
his oxygen mask.
Yes,
and he's got a jacket instead of a vest.
Oh, let me see that.
Oh, there you go. Cut back.
Yeah,
and there you go.
Nice. I love it.
Sarah and I had a very long argument about this earlier today.
Yes. Yes, we did. But this is the end result.
Yes, for your enjoyment. All right, now they all load into the Millennium Falcon and blast off. And it looked like the ship was just parked a few feet inside the slug's mouth.
No, it's flying
right
at that
on the
point.
tip of the tongue.
No, it's flying at that point.
I think it's just lifting off because it doesn't have any of the propulsion lines.
It doesn't, but I think the artist just forgot that.
Well, look how close they are to the back wall to his throat.
Yeah.
It looks like they were just parked right on the tip of the
what do you guys think?
Tongue.
Do you guys think the Falcon is flying at this point?
No, it's lifting off. It's lifting straight up.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'll let you have every other argument. Let me have this one, okay? All right, now the Millennium Falcon quickly soars between the purple teeth and gets away safely. And per George Lucas's direction to Marvel, they were not allowed to show the space slug, so those who haven't seen the film yet would get a big surprise.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, remember the last episode where we read that article by Archie Goodwin, and he said that George Lucas's direction, you can't show the Wampa,
yes,
and you can't show the space slug.
Okay.
But now look at these stalactites and stalagmites, or are they teeth?
Okay.
They're the space slug teeth.
Okay. Oh, Rex wants to weigh in. He always thought that the Falcon was parked on the tongue.
Oh, I thought he was parked more like down the esophagus.
Okay, I thought
you know
he was
what?
in the
We
tongue.
should ask our friends over at Star Warsologies.
Yeah, hey, yeah, we should ask a scientist about that.
Yeah.
Where are they in the space slug?
I really want to know.
Oh my gosh! All right, I love it.
So they couldn't show the space slug, but Han does say that they were inside a giant slug.
Yes.
Now Lucas didn't say anything about not saying what it was.
Yeah, I think seeing it in the movie, I think that's a good enough like surprise. So I like it.
So do I remember seeing that big space slug in that film. Like, whoa, what is that? It blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then Han tells Chewie they need to stop by the bank. You know, when you're running from the Empire and you want to save the galaxy, you gotta maybe do some errands, go do some grocery shopping. Look, he says, "Bang, Chewie, bang, Chewie hard. We gotta get to that Wells Fargo." What? What?
You're so funny.
Why?
Okay.
Oh, he's saying to bank the Millennium Falcon so it doesn't hit the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was saying, "Hey, take me to Chase."
Okay. No.
Okay. All right. See, you know what? As a kid, I'm like, why does Han need to do some, make a deposit, make a withdrawal? What's he trying to do right now?
All right.
Back on Dagobah.
Yes.
Luke is just failing at his training. He is just too tired to spontaneously slice this metal bar Yoda has thrown at him. And he says, hey, you know what? This should have been cut up into 7 pieces.
Oh.
You see this in the comic and you see this in the novel, but you don't see it in the movie.
No.
He had to cut down the whole training sequence.
Right. Oh, but you do see Luke very dejected after not cutting the bar in half at all next to a pink mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
And Look at little Yoda
Look,
here.
Yoda is the size of a small parrot sitting on Luke's shoulder. He's sitting on Luke's shoulder, not on his back. He's sitting on his shoulder. And Luke says he's just too tired after carrying him on his back to slice up this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Now he must be really out of shape since it doesn't look like Yoda could weigh more than 2 baby porgs.
Yes.
And-
Oh, hold on. I want to bring up comment here by Rex. Let's see. He remembers looking up the word bank in the dictionary at this time. Oh my gosh.
Great minds think alike, Rex.
Yes. That is amazing.
You know, when you have errands to do when you're out, you have errands to do when you're out, and maybe going to the bank, the drive-through is one of them. That's where you get your lollipops.
Yes. And Don says he was just calling for help from Mr. Banks.
See,
Mary Poppins.
It opens up a world of possibilities.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I love it. Oh.
All right. Now, funny thing is that Luke then comments on the next page that even he thought he was in good shape.
Yes.
No, if you can't carry this little tiny gnome-like Yoda,
yeah,
that's no bigger than 8 inches.
Right, but now Yoda's a little bigger in this particular panel.
Luke must be so confused. Like, how big are you?
But now, okay, the artist has finally got Yoda right.
That is a good-looking Yoda.
That is a very good-looking Yoda. They've had some practice in the past panels, and now here we go. We got a great-looking face of Yoda with the kind eyes and everything.
All right, now pan down.
Okay.
And there's a half a splash page where a collage shows Luke jumping over giant mushrooms, doing a headstand on one hand, but
next to a giant mushroom.
He's only using 2 fingers.
Oh yes.
And he's training with the remotes. He's lifting rocks. And
we got shirtless Luke up here.
Shirtless Luke up there, yeah.
Jumping on a mushroom.
Yeah, and Yoda is sitting on one of those mushrooms. It looks like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
He really does, the blue caterpillar.
Yeah, so go over some of this artwork here.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think it's so interesting. The whole training montage of Luke is like cut down to this one half a splash page, but it's very colorful, right? So you have Luke right in the middle as the focal point. He's training with the remotes, but then all around him are his different stages of training as Luke, kind of in smaller, areas. So your eye just kind of travels around the page and sees all these scenes, but the mushrooms really stand out here.
Very much so.
There's so many mushrooms.
Okay, Marvel artists, what are you trying to tell us here? Carlos, Glennis, what's going on?
All right. Ooh, hey, Luke is even lifting some rocks.
Oh, she sure is.
Like all Jedi do.
Mm-hmm. You're not a Jedi until you can lift rocks.
Exactly, with your mind.
Yes. So suddenly the X-wing sinks deeper in the swamp, and Luke says he just can't lift it like the rocks.
No.
And Yoda replies, "Size has no meaning. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?" Now Luke should respond here by saying, "I can't. You keep on changing your size in every panel. I can't judge you by your size."
Look at how small Yoda is here.
Now he's the size of the Yoda Kenner action figure.
I think he looks like the size of a squirrel. Like, it's just crazy. And then down here below, he's like kind of the right size.
Yeah. So it looks like you're really messing with me.
Yeah.
And Yoda's saying, "You know what? It's not me. It's the mushrooms."
So here, it's kind of glossed over the fact that Yoda brings out the X-wing from the swamp. 1 minute it's in the swamp, and the next minute it's out. But they don't really show like Yoda lifting it or lifting out, right? And I feel like this is a big missed opportunity because you could have had this really cool splash page with the art of the X-wing rising out of the swamp, kind of like Ralph McQuarrie's painting, where the ship is in the foreground up high and Luke and Yoda are in the background underneath. I think that would have been a really cool like homage to pay from the comics to the McQuarrie art.
Looks like what they had as a reference was the Kenner toy in that X-wing.
Okay.
So maybe that's why.
Okay.
All right, now Yoda is letting Luke have it because of all of his. Now Yoda is letting Luke have it because of all of his limits. Luke just says, "I can't," and R2 yells out with a
"Wordlit!"
And suddenly the X-wing lifts from the swamp.
But it's not clear that it lifted.
Well, you see it kind of appended, and now it's lifted.
It's unclear. All
And
right.
Luke just can't believe it. And I can't believe they're finally drawing Yoda in the right dimensions. Like in the bottom panel, we see him, and earlier on.
Yeah. He's very small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, now, okay, get ready for this, okay?
Okay.
Are you sitting down?
I am.
We cut into what was promised on the cover art. Bounty hunters.
Woohoo!
Yes, we need those scum.
Oh.
But don't get too excited because, like we said earlier, they just get 2 panels.
Like this page, right?
Yes, this is all you get.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So as a kid, I was disappointed, but hey, this is what we got. This is what we got.
Okay.
One of these panels includes 4 LOM with a big purple plum head.
Okay, now hold on. Are you talking about this right by
Yes.
between Boba Fett and
Vader, yeah.
Vader.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this totally looks like the Last of Us like infected dude, a clicker with the crazy like mushroom head. Yeah. That does not look like 4 LOM.
No, well, 4 LOM isn't purple.
No.
And she has like a plum.
I know. So that's very odd. All right.
Now there's a bounty hunter missing. Where's Zuckuss?
Oh.
There's no Zuckuss anywhere. Zuckuss.
Oh.
We saw him on the very first splash page, covered by Boba Fett's jetpack.
Yes.
Maybe the jetpack went off, and that was the end of Zuckuss.
Oh. Well, we also see a little bit of IG-88 here, only he's covered by what is this?
The word balloon.
Vader's word bubble.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these guys just can't get a break.
Mm-hmm.
Now Vader points to Boba Fett as the leader of the band and says not to disappoint him. And Boba replies, "Given a free hand, I've never disappointed anyone except for those who hope to escape me." All right, now Vader tells Boba that he wants proof of their capture, so no disintegrations. Remember when we saw do you recall when we saw the disintegration in Mandalorian?
Oh yeah.
With the Jawa?
Oh, that was creepy.
It's like, oh, now it all ties in.
Yes.
And do you know who that actress was who played that disintegrated Jawa?
No.
That was our new friend Molly Miller.
Ooh.
Who we met at Comic-Con.
Yay.
Who might be on the show when the strike ends.
Nice.
Oh, hold on. Rex says that Zuckuss, he was in the cafeteria. It's like, oh, did we start the meeting? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just want to get my fruit cup. I'll be there in a minute, okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Now, in this scene, what are these characters doing, Sarah? It's tying into something we've been talking about lately.
Okay. You mean right here where they're all looking right at the camera?
Yes.
Oh.
They're doing some Star Trek acting.
Star Trek TOS.
Yeah, the
original series.
Yeah, we've been watching some of the original series, and we've noticed that whenever they want to speak a line in the actors, they always got to turn to the camera and away from their scene partner.
Oh yeah.
And talk to the camera. You know what? The microphone can pick you up anywhere you stand. You know that, right? But now the characters are turning around to the reader and saying their lines.
That is
Am I the only one who noticed this?
I think it is, but now that you mention it, it's like totally noticeable because Vader's looking around at the camera. You are free to use any method necessary, but I want proof. No disintegrations. And he's not saying that to Boba Fett's face because Boba Fett is right over his left shoulder.
And Boba's saying, who are you talking to?
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Now they are interrupted by Admiral Piet, who shouts to Vader that they have them.
Yes.
Now, I always thought, even in the movie, that this was a big FU to the bounty hunters to tell Vader right in front of them, hey, you know what, guys? We don't need you, okay? We don't need you. We can take care of this ourselves. We're the Empire.
Okay. I do have to call out the fact that this reminds me very much this guy running in from the hallway in a small space. That's Piet. And he's like yelling something to Vader. It reminds me very much of The Sound of Music when the Sound of Music people they've all Julie Andrews and everyone have vacated the singing area where all the Nazis are like lining the walls and they leave. And so when they win the whole competition, the competitors are like, oh, well, where are they? The Von Trapp family singers.
Dun,
The
dun,
family
dun,
Von, yeah, the
dun,
family Von Trapp.
dun, dun, dun.
And then all of a sudden, this Nazi comes out. They're gone. So that's what it reminded me of.
Okay, you know what? I can see that.
See,
I can see that. Yeah.
So we have a Sound of Music nod in
and
a Marvel comic
and a Star Trek reference all on one page.
I love it.
Now the Imperials chase the Millennium Falcon, which swoops around and disappears. Oh, look at that. Just then, Lord Vader wants a report, and with a resigned air of a man totally out of hope, the cruiser commander moves to report his failure. So how do you think this is going to go?
Well, you'd think that he would...
You've seen the film, right? Doesn't go well.
Yes, no, it doesn't go well.
They call him cruiser commander, but that's Captain Nita.
Poor Captain Nita.
No, things do not. Spoiler alert: things do not go well for Captain Nita.
No.
All right, back on Dagobah, Luke is making progress on his training, but complaining that it's taking so long. What are you? What are you, a millennial? It's taking too long.
Now hold on a moment. I feel like I'm missing some pages here.
What are you missing?
All right. Hold on, please. I'm missing...
You know what? I will open up my original issue.
All right, good, because I don't see...
if we're missing anything.
Pages 17.
No.
Hold on. Yeah, here we go. I'm missing a couple pages. No, this is... Why does it end here?
We have this page.
What's that? Yeah, that. I'm missing whatever that page is. How odd. I'm missing that page. All right, give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. I know it.
That would be, well, in the issue here, it's number 18. So you're missing this one right here?
Yeah. Okay, wait, it's here. All right, hold on. Okay, so I just need those two. For some reason, they didn't make it into my little camera roll. All right, give me a moment. Sorry, guys. Talk among yourselves.
All right, I'm going to look at this issue. Boy, I don't recall this artwork being so faded back then.
Yeah, it's very faded
Not
in your
the artwork,
issue.
but the pages.
Yeah. All right, loading them up. There we go. And I was just missing 2 pages for some reason. All right. Give me 1 minute. Betrayal at Bespin goes below. There we go. Okay, wait.
Hey, do you want a calendar celebrating Marvel's 20th anniversary?
All right, I am all caught up.
20th anniversary.
Wow.
1981. Cool. Hey, Marvel celebrated being 20 when you were just being born.
Oh. All right, here we go. I fixed it.
Okay.
I fixed it. Here we go. We're back to a training montage here. Dagobah.
I gotta carefully put away my funny book.
All right. Rex would like to remind us that during this intermission, let me remind you, no space slugs were harmed in this issue. I would hope not. That would be very sad.
Or mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Maybe many mushrooms were consumed.
I know many mushrooms were consumed.
Oh, hey, Horsehead. I think that's Jeff. Vader's breaking the fourth wall like Ferris Bueller. That's great. I love that reference.
Telling everyone, go home. Movie's over. Go home.
Did that creep you out?
No, it didn't.
No? Oh, you liked it. Okay. Careful.
Okay.
Careful.
All right, where are we?
All right. We are back here. Let's see. We got the Star Trek acting. Okay. All right, here we go. Back on Dagobah, Luke is making progress on his training, but he's complaining that it's taking so long.
Now, didn't Yoda get to the part of the training where he says, all right, this is going to take some time, okay? maybe years, years and years. And then after that, you got to keep on training. I'm
Always
over
learning.
900 years old and I'm still training.
Yeah. Come on.
Did Luke think this was like a weekend course?
I don't know.
It's taking too long.
Wow.
Now, as Yoda begins to tell Luke about Obi-Wan's apprentice, we cut back to Obi-Wan's apprentice, Darth Vader. And apparently Captain Nita, he never made it to Vader's ship and sent Piet to do his dirty work. So Marvel just cut out Captain Nita's death scene.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can understand them cutting out most of the Han and Leia's kissing scene.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't much to your chagrin.
Yes.
But you don't cut out something like this.
No, that's kind of odd, and it's a dramatic scene. You'd think they'd want that in there.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Piet later on telling Vader that, hey, we lost them, we can't find them, but Vader doesn't kill him. Apparently, Nita did something to really tick him off.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you know what? In the end, he did accept his apology. Isn't that all that what counts?
I think so. I think that's what counts.
All right. From there, the Star Destroyer then dumps its garbage, and the Falcon floats away with it.
Look at how cool this splash page is.
It's very cool, but isn't that rude?
Yes.
Dump all your trash in someone else's galaxy.
I feel like it's very, very rude. I know space is a big place, but like, why are you dumping garbage? They should have like a place to put space garbage.
They have garbage planets.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
And
that's a lot of garbage.
That's a lot of big mechanical objects and machinery.
Yeah.
There's an ice cream maker right in the middle of all this.
Yeah, what is all here? My goodness. It looks like some phasers.
Another Star Trek reference.
Yes.
And right there's a copy of Sound of Music and Blu-ray. But guess what? What? There's another ship hiding in there.
Now, we don't see any ships in the splash page,
No.
right? I was looking. I'm like, where's the Falcon?
No, we can see various pieces of Blu-rays and VHS tapes.
Yeah, but then you flip the page, and there in the space garbage, you see the Falcon.
We see the Falcon, and then we see, I don't know what to call it, Slave One or Boba Fett starship.
Right.
What do we call it? I don't know.
Isn't it this fire spray?
The fire spray? That's the model.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the toys will just say Boba Fett starship.
I mean, at this point, it was called Slave One.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
That's what I would call it.
When people send in their angry letters.
Yes.
Didn't want them to all be pointed at me.
Okay. Just me too? Thanks.
Whoever gets mad at you, okay?
Oh my gosh.
They get mad at me. Then they just say, oh, that was Sarah. We'll let it go.
Okay, good.
I take all the brunt of it, okay?
Okay.
All right, guess what?
What?
This is the end.
Oh, no.
The end. Next issue, Betrayal at Bespin.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, now let's talk about our favorite panel.
Ooh. Okay. Richard, do you want to say yours first?
I want to go with page number 14.
Okay.
And the bounty hunters with Vader taking center stage. I just stared at this panel for hours and hours as a kid.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, because you just didn't get enough of all these characters. They had action, the Bosk action figure you could send away before the film came out, and of course Boba Fett was a mail away figure. So we could play with the action figures, but now we want to see more of them. We want to put them into the story. How big of a story do they have? And after seeing the film, we cut away, and well, that's pretty much it for the whole band, as Darth Vader calls them, the band of bounty hunters. So
that's pretty sad.
Yeah, with Vader right there in the middle, right in all his pretty blue.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And you?
Me, well, sentimentally, I have to give it to our kissing scene. Come on, Han and Leia kissing. It has to be my favorite panel because it's my favorite moment in Star Wars.
Now, why do you think they chose to have a green background?
I don't know. Seems kind of odd. It's not even like pink. You'd think they do pink, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do for the book. They have this little quotes book.
Above.
Yes.
With the Millennium Falcon,
with that stupid panel that I hate.
Yes.
That's where they used up the pink.
Is all pink.
Yeah, so I hate that panel even more. Thanks. Thanks.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. What's your favorite line of dialogue or narration?
I'm going to go to the top of page 4,
Okay.
where Yoda says, I am wondering, why are you here? He doesn't say, why are you wandering? Why are you wondering? Opened up my whole world.
Oh.
Now I understood the importance of closed captioning.
I love it. Okay.
And you?
Me, I'm going to go with page 9. And the Falcon is in the cave. And I love how Han uses some fun dialogue here, some colloquialisms. We just got this bucket ready to roll again. I'm not letting some varmint tear it apart. Varmint. I just think it's funny when they roll Han into like a western.
or Jed from Beverly Hills Billies.
A varmint.
From Beverly Hills Billy. From Beverly Hills Billy.
Beverly Hill Billies.
From Beverly Hills Billies.
Beverly
Hills Billies. What? Beverly
Hill Billies.
Beverly Hill Billies.
There you go.
I've never had a problem saying that ever before. Beverly Hill Billies.
Okay, hold on. This just in. Rex is saying he's got 2 Bosk figures and customized one. How did you customize it? Did you paint it purple?
Oh, I wonder. They have Kenner or Hasbro, one of the two, had made action figures based on the color scheme from and the sculpt from the classic Marvel comics.
What if they made like a Bosk?
Oh, a Funko.
A Funko that was like based on the comics.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
You know they're gonna do that. You know they're gonna do that.
Because look how cool these are. These are so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a 3-pack of Bosk, Boba Fett, and Dengar.
Yeah. That would be fun. All right. So, Richard, what is the best use of color in your opinion?
Well, let's go to page 10 and 11.
Okay.
And we see the purple teeth of the space slug.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At this point, you don't know what those. You think there'd be stalactites and stalagmites, but you wouldn't think there'd be teeth.
Okay.
Because George Lucas said you can't show the space slug, and Marvel said we'll get close enough.
I like it.
So I like the use of that color.
Nice.
They do a very good job in using pink, much to your dismay, and a lavender.
Just not where they should use it.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go to a panel. My favorite panel is on page 7 at the bottom. There is no pink or lavender in it at all. There is simply Vader with his fist out.
Clenched hand.
Clenched fist. And he's just got all these beautiful range of blues depicting the beautiful
lighting scheme.
The lighting scheme. Yeah, but like his what is it
called?
Reflections. Thank you. It's depicting all the reflections that's happening on his helmet. And he's got this nice cool green behind him and an even cooler yellowish green and some teal even in there.
There's
too.
Different shades of green to really show you the depth.
Yeah, and I love it. Like I could stare at this panel all day. This particular one I just think is beautiful. So yeah.
I don't think it was until later on, I want to say in the Dark Horse comics, not even Dark Horse, or the later Marvel series where they finally made Vader black.
Oh, okay. Right. All in black colors.
Yeah. I can see why they would want to do blue because then you can highlight the different definitions of his outfit.
Yeah, it looks awesome. All right, this just in. Rex is saying that he customized his Bosk. I painted him and gave him a helmet and called him Krosk. Then I called him Kron to sound cooler, and he wore black and he had a backpack.
Krosk, wasn't that the name of Bosk's father in Tales from the Bounty Hunter?
I don't know. I haven't read that in like 25 years, so
wow. Some time.
Yeah.
All right, now last time the issue included a special feature. This issue features Star Wars British. This issue features a Star Wars British cover gallery. And this is where they show you all of the covers to the Star Wars weeklies. We got the comics once a month, but in England, they got them weekly. So, of course, they needed more cover art by Carmen Infantino and Jean Day and Dan Green. So let's go over the 5 of the covers that they gave us at the back of this issue. And I love these issues because they were oversized.
Yeah.
I got a whole collection of these somewhere.
Ooh. All right. Well, here's the first cover. So this is a British cover. Star Warriors Red Alert. And it has Luke in the X-Wing.
It's a snowspeeder.
Oh, I'm sorry. It has Luke in a snowspeeder.
Okay, hold on. Rex is weighing it again in the Sky Chat. He says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's Infantino. That's Infantino messing up art."
Some of these are odd.
Yeah, because if you look at Luke, he no longer looks like Mark Hamill.
No, he's got a squished face.
So good call there, Rex.
Here's this next one. We have The Empire Strikes Back weekly, and it shows Vader with his bevy of snowtroopers.
And you know those tunnels you'd go into in those haunted mazes where the tunnel would do a 360 as you're walking through it, and you feel like you're gonna fall over. This is what it looks like here. Like Vader and the snowtroopers are walking through one of those spinning tunnels.
There's a lot of motion in this particular one.
Yes, Vader's got his iconic red eyes.
Yes.
And in the front here, we have a purple and red snowtrooper.
Mm-hmm. All right, this next one.
But I like it. I like this cover.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, a lot of motion in there.
This next one though is
what's happening?
What's
going on?
It's the cockpit of the Falcon with someone who's supposed to be Han and someone who's supposed to be Leia and 3PO and someone who's supposed to be Chewie.
See, now they're harkening back to the original Star Wars comics.
Yes.
Like the first 38 issues.
Yes.
Where they looked like
Nothing alike. Like this, okay, this was done in like 15 minutes, this cover. It's like, oh, we got to get this out of here. Let's do it. Oh my God, this is terrible. All right, now top this.
I like this. I like what? You have a big pile of fur, and I'm sure Chewbacca's in there somewhere, and he's holding the dismembered C-3PO in this blue spotlight. It looks like he's on stage.
It does.
And Linus says spotlight.
Yeah.
They give him a spotlight, and
3PO looks good, but this pile of fur does not look, and he's crouched down, right? So it doesn't look like long, lanky Chewie.
Ever wash a dog?
Yes.
They look like this.
Yes. Oh my God, it's terrible.
But you know what? I wouldn't mind having like a poster of this, just because look at that. That's kind of cute. When falls a friend.
Whoa.
Look at Chewie's big legs.
It's
like
so
tree
weird.
Stumps.
It's so weird. All right.
Okay.
This last one.
Lastly.
Whoa. All right. We've got Han punching Lando like in this big action pose. But is that Han? Because it looks like someone with a mop of hair.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they're in a fight club.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, all the friends around cheering him on.
Yeah.
Including the Imperials.
What is this a leg? What is this? This like
I don't know what that is.
Okay. But Lando has his cape, only it's like lavender. There they go with their lavenders again.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, this is lots of motion in this one too, but Han looks fat.
So does Lando.
With skinny legs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is my least favorite of. Well, no, one where they're inside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. This is
terrible.
That's really bad.
All right.
It's like when you're drawing something and you just can't stop and you just make it worse and worse, and then you cover it up with like big black splotches.
I've had this before. Yes.
I know what I speak.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
So once again, I love when Marvel does these special features at the end of their issue. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Issue Betrayal at Bespin. Spoiler. All right, Skywalkers, it's time for shout outs. This is where at the beginning of every month we show all the love to all of the Skywalking Force and tell you how much we appreciate your patronage.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we want to shout you out by name. So thank you so much to Anthony Kakias,
Blessed Cheesemaker,
Bryn McKinnon,
Carl Fox,
Chica Fent,
Christopher Marino,
Courtney Turkel,
Darren Irvine,
Dave Kerwin,
Don Glover,
Garrett Sessions,
Glenn Stein,
Jennifer Cole,
Jeremy and Heather Hunt,
John Liang,
John Zoncanaro,
Julie Caruana,
Julie Gildersleeve,
Kelly Turkel,
Laura Bryce,
Meredith Duckworth,
Michael Corbett,
Michael Nip,
Mike Ward,
Nancy Steinman,
Patrick Pine,
Patty Hammond,
Patty Nazarian,
Peter and Norma Heitman,
Reynold Gobey,
Scott Carmichael,
Scott Hume,
Terry Lee,
Wesley Meecombs,
and Wynn Patterson.
Yay. So thank you. We really, really appreciate you becoming part of the Skywalking Force and helping to keep this pirate ship going, as Adam Carolla would say.
Nice.
Because as you know, this doesn't come cheap.
No.
But
so
thank you. Well, once again, we got these brand new microphones. After 10 years, we had to retire our old microphones because they were beginning to show signs of degradation. So thanks to you, you can sound us nice and clear.
Yeah.
And Sarah doesn't pop anymore.
No, got pop screen. Yeah.
So thank you. And once again, a big, big thank you.
And Wookiee hugs.
Well, that wraps up episode number 427 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank all you Skywalkers for chiming in to this episode that we gave you, an hour notice?
Yeah. Well, no, I'd scheduled it way earlier. But yes, okay. Thank you, Skywalkers. We love it when you chime in.
It's summertime, so we record at a moment's notice.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Thank you for weighing in on our YouTube clips, on our Instagram posts. We really, really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're slowly getting up to that 10,000 mark, and that's like the next tier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you get at that tier, but what you do get is acknowledgement. If you want to submit your show for press for certain things,
yeah, that's true.
They want to see that 10,000 mark. So we're
really
almost
helps
there.
Out. Really helps out, and then we can go to more things and take you to more places.
And do what we do: grab a friend's phone or a family member, and just hit subscribe on their phone.
Subscribe. Yep.
Yeah, they never notice.
Speaking of places to go and things to do, remember you can meet us and play some awesome Star Wars trivia on September 2nd and 3rd at Long Beach Comic-Con. Yeah, that'll be really fun.
And where's that going to be held? In Long Beach.
Long Beach Convention Center. Woohoo!
Yeah. I hope more Skywalkers can make it out because we are having a blast. Mm-hmm. I think our Comic-Con trivia game show was like a 10 plus, and we just figured out ways to make it an 11.
Yep.
So you must come out. And if you come out to Long Beach Comic-Con, you can pick up your copy of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom, the interactive notebook. And if you can't meet us there, you can always get them at skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book.
Yes. Looks like Horsehead will see us there. I think that is Jeff, or no. Actually, who is this? Let us know. We don't want to call you by the wrong name, but yes, we will see you there. We're very excited to see you.
Nice.
Yay. All right. Well, we would like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their support. Now, are you thinking of getting a trip to a Disney park? Well, you can always just head there, fill out a get a quote form at smallworldvacations.com, and their vacation planning service is free. Disney pays them, not you. So check it out and tell them that Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Would you want to support Skywalking Through Neverland? Well, sure you do. Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. And the Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on the latest Disney Plus shows. And guess what? You get I don't know what you get.
Oh, you get a coupon code to use. And you also get a coupon code to use for our books. And this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options available. And thank you so much again to those of you who are part of the Skywalking Force. You always will get a monthly shout out. Wouldn't it be fun to add your name to the shout outs? Mm-hmm. Yes, it would. Yay.
Now we are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History.
Now, Star Warsologies was also at Comic-Con, with us. And while we had our trivia panel, they had a bunch of science of panels, like the science of Andor, the science of Indiana Jones, and science of superpowers. So most of those are coming out on their Star Wars Ologies podcast feed within the next week. In fact, 2 of them are available now. So even if you didn't make it to Comic-Con or didn't make it to that panel, you can listen to those, which they're really fun. All right. Well, you can find us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod for Twitter. Well, actually for Instagram and for
X?
Threads.
Not X?
No.
Okay, good.
Threads. And we're also on Facebook. So search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland. We are on YouTube. Please go subscribe. Just search Skywalking Through Neverland everywhere. That's where we are. You can also email us, share@skywalkingthrough-neverland.com.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember. Let's do it one more. And always remember.
Neverland on Alderaan.
All right. Mark says, bye, guys. I'm out. And that is Jeff. I knew it. Yay.
Hey, Jeff.
Awesome.
And then tomorrow, we're going to announce the winners.
Oh, yes.
Of our YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah,
contest.
The Star Wars Outlaws poster.
Yes.
That's right. We're gonna DM the winners. Yes. So thank you guys for applying for that. Yes. Entering. Yes. Okay. I guess it's time for us to go.
I want a burrito.
Okay. We'll make that happen.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
Bye, Mark. Bye, Rex. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, everyone who watched. Thank you. All right. We're going to end.